Hi guys, this is Ranjit and this is one of my new office sets, and I wanted to shoot a very different kind of video where I'll be talking about smartphone companies and what they have done this year. So it's going to be a very different kind of video. We're going to talk about what Asus did, what Xiaomi did, LeEco, then Samsung, Motorola and Lenovo. So let's get on with this same, and there might be a little bit echo because this office studio space is not completely ready, but I still wanted to shoot some videos for you guys. So let's start, and first let's talk about Asus. In 2015, Asus suddenly emerged and they brought out some very good phones at a very affordable price. For example, the Asus Zenfone 2 was costing just 20,000, and that was one of the few phones that came with 4 gigabytes of RAM and very powerful specs. But if you look at the lineup now with the Asus Zenfone 3, the lineup has completely changed, and now the Asus Zenfone 3 lineup seems overly priced now that they have moved from Intel to Snapdragon, and that simply does not make any sense. Now they are competing with the pricing of Samsung, and in fact the Asus Zenfone 3 is more expensive compared to even OnePlus 3, which simply does not make any sense. So I hope Asus in 2017 looks at the performance. I'm sure the performance the sales might have dwindled because the price to performance ratio is simply gone down. So what do you think about Asus, and do you think they have started overcharging for their smartphones in 2016? And what is one single advice that you might have for Asus? Again, share your comments in the YouTube comment section below. And now if we look at Xiaomi did very interesting things this year, and I feel this is one of the companies that understood the Indian market. And if we see at the Xiaomi's lineup, they became very strong in the budget to mid-range segment. For example, they launched the Redmi Note 3, which was sort of a hit, and later on they also launched the Redmi 3S and the 3S Prime, though it came a bit late, but those also sold very well. So in the budget and the mid-range price segment, they did very well. But again, in the premium segment, the Xiaomi Mi 5 did not sell that well, and also they did not introduce their other premium handsets in the Indian market. For example, the Xiaomi Mi 5S should have been released in India, but they simply did not do that. And even the Xiaomi Mi 5 that is sold in India is just the 32 gigabyte model. So I feel Xiaomi did great in the budget and the mid-range market, but sadly in the premium and the flagship market, looks like they were not that aggressive, and they didn't launch a lot of models. So I hope they change that in 2017. Now if we move to LeEco suddenly came this year. They were no longer there in India. They just came this year, and they had incredible success with LeEco LE1S. They priced it very aggressively, and due to that, I feel the Redmi Note 3 pricing was also very aggressive due to the fact that the LE1S was that aggressive. They also launched the LeEco 1S Eco, a similar variant with less heating issues, and the LE2 also sold very well, but the initial batch had some quality issues. So I was surprised to see that. I thought the LeEco LE3 might also launch in India, but that simply did not launch. So let's see what LeEco does next year. I'm hoping that they will still be aggressive or not. That's a question mark, because a couple of months ago there was a statement that LeEco might not be as aggressive as they were earlier. So it'll be interesting to see what LeEco does in 2017. Now if we move to Samsung, again Samsung did not change that much this year. Yes, even their budget lineup devices in terms of looks and feel improved a lot, but still if you talk about price to performance ratio, Samsung devices particularly in the mid-range market was simply not that great, especially when we talk about sensors almost all sensors are sort of missing, and Samsung kept launching one model after the other and was so confusing. They were just flooding the market, and that simply did not make any sense. For example, the Galaxy J7, I think so, was a better device than the Galaxy J7 Prime. The J7 Prime had a fingerprint scanner, and they just rebranded the Galaxy on next. It was similar to the J7 Prime. They used the same internals as the Galaxy J7, though they were good for the J7, but because the J7 Prime and the On Next had a 1080p screen, those devices were sort of struggling. So I feel Samsung should just consolidate instead of launching half a dozen or more than a dozen products in the same price band, and do something what Xiaomi is doing. Launch one decent product, but make it a very good product. I hope Samsung changes that. It's sad to see that even some of the Samsung phones that cross around 20,000 price point don't even have basic sensors like auto brightness. Forget about other sensors. So I hope that situation changes with Samsung. Now if we move to Motorola, I am sort of saddened with what Motorola has done this year. If you see Motorola's lineup, they have launched so many devices. It's looking like what Samsung has done now. Earlier, the Motorola lineup was very clearly defined, and we had clearly the Moto G series, X series. Now we have so many series I don't even recall. For example, the Moto G4, it has so many variants. Even the Moto E, which was a great product. The Moto E Turbo, again, was not a great. The choice of going with MediaTek was simply not a good choice. Again, just recently, just about a day or so ago, I have unboxed the Moto M. Again, this is a new variant, and this is a very different take. It does not look like a Motorola device. Again, that's coming with the MediaTek chipset. So looks like Motorola is now under Lenovo just launching one device after the other, just like what Samsung is doing. And I think so that's a very wrong way to go about it. Instead of that, they should just concentrate back on producing good handsets like they were doing with the Moto G series. One handset, but make it really good. Then they have the X lineup and one more for the premium segment. But now the whole lineup is sort of confused. And another thing that I'm hating about Motorola is regarding software updates. Earlier, the Moto devices used to get security updates and software updates very quickly, but that has sort of slowed down. In fact, in terms of security updates, we are hardly getting any Android security updates with Motorola devices. So I hope Motorola changes that. Their excuse was that it's difficult to update so many devices. So why don't you launch less devices and concentrate on what you have produced? I hope Motorola changes this in 2017. Now coming to Lenovo, again Lenovo is very similar to Motorola. It's actually Lenovo is the parent company now to Motorola, and yes, I feel Lenovo should actually concentrate they've made some good devices like the Vibe X3, but the camera was sort of pathetic on the Vibe X3. I hope whenever they launch the Vibe X4 in India, I hope they make a complete package. The sound was really good on the Vibe X3, but the camera was not that great. So the experience was not fully baked in. Again, yes, finally, Lenovo launched quite a few devices this time. For example, the K5 was launched, and now again the K6 Power. So again, they are also launching too many devices. And yes, the K5, etc. Those had actually rubbish camera, but for some reason the Lenovo K6 Power had a very good camera in that price segment, which was actually very surprising even to me. So I hope they continue to do that, and I hope this Lenovo K6 Power is not just a one-off exception. And when in 2017, if Lenovo launches new mid-range or the budget segment phones, I hope they continue to put good cameras. And again, guys, trim down the lineup. It's getting too confusing. All these vendors, I would say, are launching too many products, and I hope they streamline this. And again, Motorola and Lenovo, I hope you guys put out Android updates and security updates a lot more often. That is one sore thing that I miss with your products. So guys, what do you think about what do you think about this video, and what advice do you have to these companies, and what should they do in 2017? Would love to hear your comments in the YouTube comment section below. So guys, that's it for now for this video. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.